What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Paulo on Purpose. A special episode, I guess, because if you guys been watching or listening for the last, I think, 3 episodes, you know that I've been co-hosting this with my best friend and roommate Kyler. But for this episode, I just want to get back to the origins of it. Was just a one person venting and having a conversation about things and just giving their reactions to the world. The one thing I want to touch on really quickly for all you guys will probably already know this, but from the time it comes out, I guess 2 days ago, Chadwick Boseman died. He was an actor in the MCU. He played Black Panther. And for those of you guys that don't know, or I guess I mentioned in the first episode, I'm a huge comic book nerd. I mean, on my wall, I have a Marvel and DC posters that you maybe can see on the frame. I don't know, but comic books are a huge part of my life, and comic book movie industry is also a big part of my life. I'm a huge MCU and DC movie fan. I grew up watching those MCU movies. I remember going to watch the first one when I was like a little kid, and I've grown up with them. I feel like they've become an essential part of who I am. So it's obviously really sad to see that one of my favorite characters is now, the actor is now passed away. But what's really touching to see is that so many of his colleagues immediately post on Instagram and social media about how much he was a gentle and kind person, a beacon of light, in the world. And we're losing a lot of those this year. We lose Kobe, we've lost Chadwick Boseman, we've lost so many other people that have just impacted millions of lives for the better. And I think it's just a really terrible cherry on top of the horrible year that's been 2020. But I think if anything, it just shows that everyone has their own problems. They're all going through major health crisis, mental health crisis, family crisis, and some people are still strong enough to make others feel joy. I mean, he was battling and filming movies while battling stage 3 colon cancer. He is the definition of a hero, a strong man willing to go through hell to make other people smile. And that's incredible. I think that's something we should all take away from this, is that we need to be kind to everybody. We don't understand their struggles, but also try to be the best version of a human being that you can be. Try to leave a positive legacy for when you go, people don't see you as an asshole or a dick. They see you as a beacon of light, a positive area of a person who had a positive impact on their life. I think that's what we should all strive for, and that's definitely what I've taken away from that situation. But yeah, obviously my condolences go out to his family. It's been a tough year for people this year, man. It just keeps getting worse and worse, and I don't know how long this will last, but I know eventually we'll get through it and things will get better. We just gotta have faith in that, man. You just have faith that this won't always be as bad as it is now. Transitioning into, I guess, the main issue or topic of this episode, me and my friend Miko, who I mentioned on the episode a few times, we tend to have we like to have these deep talks, like when we're doing all-nighters, like at 2 or 3 in the morning, and we talk about, a whole range of issues. I've talked about it briefly on the episodes, relationships and mental health and all that. And I really want to get a full episode with him, just because I feel like we and him have a lot of interesting, contradictions or conflicting ideologies about love and mental health and all those other things. So I'm looking forward to recording that when I see him in Vegas. But the main thing I want to talk about is last night we had one of these conversations, and we touched briefly on the idea of checking in on ourselves, like how we are as a person. Through these conversations, I tend to learn a lot about how I feel about love and stuff. And one thing I realized last night was that maybe I'm not in the headspace that I thought I was. Last episode I talked about hookups and me wanting to do a hookup and stuff if it popped up, if the opportunity presented itself. And when after that episode, I just kind of felt kind of weird about it, just because I know I'm not into that kind of thing. I'm not into the one night stand. It just feels weird to me. The idea of hooking up with a girl and then next morning just ditching her and never speaking to her again. It's so weird, because I value sex a lot. I think sex is a very important part of a relationship. If your sex life is not good, I don't feel like a relationship is as good as it can be. And if it's not being able to be addressed, I think that's a big red flag for the relationship. I think sexual compatibility is a major factor in a couple's happiness. And because I know my love language is physical touch, so I adore the hugs, the cuddles, and all that stuff. I fucking love that shit. I think that's changed too from my high school version of myself. My high school self was more into the ideas of paragraphs and love letters and randomly getting little gifts from her in the middle of the day or something like that. But I think more as I've realized how much I love being next to someone and being able to, play with their hair and stuff. I realize that that's more of like who I am, is more of like a physical person. And talking to Miko last night made me realize that maybe I have a more jaded view on relationships than I thought. I've been preaching, maybe college isn't the best time to have a relationship, and I think part of it too is just I'm just jaded from the relationship. I mean, I just got out of a 3-year one, and it wasn't the best. Looking back at it, it wasn't good mentally. It made me question myself and question who I was and whether I deserved to be loved and what kind of love I deserved. And coming out of that relationship, it makes the single life look so different. You don't see every girl as a potential relationship now like I used to. I see girls now as like, oh, they're just playing games. And I think a lot of guys are going through this too. We just feel like, and girls too. I'm not gonna say this because some guys are fuck boys to the end, man. They just love playing games and fucking with girls' hearts, and it goes both ways. We're all struggling with that shit. But from my perspective at least, it's like, I don't know if I really want a relationship right now. Like the idea of like becoming vulnerable with another person and giving my trust to them, and then for it to potentially just end up with me being heartbroken again, it's just like it's something I've been struggling with lately. And what's funny about that is like I get feelings for girls, I my thing is I fall in love fast and like hard, and it's bitten me in the ass like every fucking time. So I go through the struggle of like, oh, I'm talking to a girl for a few weeks to a month and I get feelings, and then it doesn't work out, or they ghost me or whatever, and it's like, fuck, like you just get into that slump, and it's been happening a lot lately. So now it's like I'm to the point where I'm questioning if I'm even worth that, like if girls even think I'm worthy of giving a shot to, and that's kind of the issue, like mental health is an important part of everybody's life. Either you grow up thinking you're the shit, or you grow up having a tough childhood, and it weighs on your self-esteem and your identity. I was one of those kids that was like, I wasn't popular, but I wasn't like a loner in high school. Like I had a lot of friends. Like a lot of people knew me, but I didn't have a lot of close friends. I had my group, and that was it. And I was fine with that. But when you get to college and you go with that same mentality, you end up where I am now in senior year, and I have a group of 5 or 6 friends, and that's about it. When they're busy, I don't really have anyone else to hang out with. So I'm like struggling now to reach out and meet new people, because my last year to do so, we have the coronavirus. So we're all quarantined in our room and stuff. And it doesn't help that I'm an introverted person. I don't really like going out and talking to strangers, but I also, at the same time, like hanging around strangers. It's weird. I'm a little weird like that, but I'm slowly trying to get myself out of that shell, I have more friends, and that means female friends too, even if it doesn't lead anywhere. I just want to have more people to talk to and, live a more enjoyable life. I struggle with anxiety. It's been the thing for me for like the last year, I think, especially when all these life changes are coming up and your senior year of college starts approaching, you realizing, holy crap, I'm getting closer and closer to the adult world. I don't have that comfort anymore of being a college kid, and it starts hitting you. And me, like I mentioned before, I questioned my decisions to be a lawyer and that dream path, and it led me to doing this, which I love. It's a fucking huge passion of mine now. But I didn't take it seriously. I just thought it was like, oh, it'll pass, I can't really talk to anyone about it because who would care? Because I feel like mental health, especially men's mental health, is so mocked and looked down on in society. I feel like women are they gather more empathy from the public. Like hearing a woman going through an abusive relationship compared to hearing a man going through abusive relationship, a lot of people will just tell the man to grow the fuck up. You're a man, get out of it. But it's not that easy. The psychology behind that doesn't it like, if you just read on that a little bit, like it's not very easy for them to leave the relationship just because it's you're coming conditioned to like think that you deserve that, and that's obviously an extreme of what I'm feeling. But what for me, it's like I have questions about whether I even should ever give another opportunity to finding love again. And it's tough because I'm a hopeless romantic, like to the bone. I want to surprise a girl with flowers and just cuz, and like write her letters and go dancing and randomly dance a Sinatra or cooking dinner or some shit, like stuff like that. simp stuff, I guess, since everyone's like shitting on being a gentleman, a good boyfriend. But yeah, when you go through the struggles, man, it's tough, especially when you feel like you're alone in dealing with it, but you're not. And I realized that recently. It was just like there are many options for people who are going through these kind of stuff. Like for example, the school offers counseling. My school offers counseling services, but they're not advertised as much as they should be. They're just kind of mentioned that, hey, we have these things, but it's very difficult to find out how to book an appointment and when can you book an appointment and how does that work. And I feel like if people put more effort into making sure that everyone is feeling their best and doing their best to work towards the best version of themselves, and society as a whole could, greatly benefit from that stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, we all need to be kind to each other. We don't know the shit we're going through. We don't know the struggles we're dealing with. We don't know what our home lives are like when we're at work. We don't know what our work lives are like when we're at home. So finding that positive, I guess, like circle of friends is important. I know I can count on any one of my friends if I needed to, for a shoulder to cry on or just to vent my anger or whatever the hell's going through my head. And likewise, vice versa. They can count on me. I'll always be there when you guys need me. You guys know who you guys are. I love you guys. But and these talks kind of like help me. They're like a form of therapy for me. I get to let out my feelings to one of my best friends who truly understands and is sympathetic with how I'm feeling. And sometimes feels the same way. And obviously we don't agree on everything, which is why I want to have that podcast with him, because on a lot of things like cheating and stuff we disagree on. And it's really interesting to have that perspective with somebody, because it helps you see the other side, and also like take an inside look into how you're thinking and why you think that way, and maybe if that's a bad way to think. And it's interesting. It's just interesting. I highly recommend that everyone try to find someone to turn to. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, or it can be therapy. Like I said before, I did therapy before coronavirus, and it's super helpful. They tend to help you see things that you either choose to ignore or don't really see, and you can make huge strides from that. I gained a lot more self-confidence from therapy and from talking to my friends, because you start realizing at the end of the day, you're awesome. You're a dope-ass motherfucker. I struggle with it because I'm an introvert. I don't really, and I'm a little introvert with like average self-esteem, I guess. So it's like when a girl ghosts me or whatever, it makes me question about who I am, whether I'm even worth a girl's attention. But I am. You gotta realize you are worthy of a guy's attention. You are worthy of whoever's attention you want. You're a badass motherfucker, But it's a mentality, and it's also a day by day thing. Not overnight. You're gonna wake up thinking you're the hot shit, or you're the cream of the crop. It's a work in progress, and you gotta find your thing to like get you motivated. For me, it's the podcast, and also getting back into shape for soccer. I grew up playing soccer all the way through high school. I was probably in the best shape of my life senior year of high school, just because I was skinny from soccer, not ripped, just skinny. And I get away from that from college, and now I'm a little bit chunkier and trying to get back into it because I just love playing soccer so much. It's you grow up with it. It's part of my culture. And I mean, Mexicans fucking love their soccer, so do Europeans. So it's like I want to get back into it, and exercising will help me do that, and it'll make me feel better myself physically, and that'll domino into your mental health. At the end of the day, if you're not happy, you're just gonna be stuck, and you don't want to wake up in a rut 10, 15 years from now realizing that you didn't do anything to make yourself happy, you didn't do anything to live the best life that you wanted to live, and now you're working a dead-end job, or you have just one to no friends, or stuff like that. So at the end of the day, you guys just gotta make sure you're good. If you're good, and at the end of the day you're happy with how you lived your life and the decisions you made, that's all that anyone can care about. That's all you should care about. Because if you let other people's opinions get to you about yourself, you're fucked. You're screwed. Because you're going to live life for everybody else, not for yourself. And at the end of the day, you're the one who is going to die on your deathbed thinking about your life. Thinking about whether you're happy with how you did things, not if so-and-so is happy with how you did things. You need to find that piece of you that's like, all right, I'm living for me. I'm not living for anyone else. And once you find that, and I'm still looking for that. I'm still looking for that I guess that like focus in on that area. But yeah, like I said, mental health, man. Mental health is super important for anyone. And I just want to let you guys know, like, if you guys ever need somebody to talk to, if you're one of my friends, you have my number. If you don't, if you're a new subscriber or listener, comment down below, man. I'm here for you. I'll respond to you guys. trying to build a community here where we can have discussions about everything and anything, life, love, politics, sports, movies, dislikes, rough times. We want to vibe with some people. Just it's important to build that network, and hopefully I can be one of those people that helps set up a network for myself and for others. But yeah, it's gonna be a quick little episode. Just want to check in with you guys, let you know how I'm feeling, give you guys the opportunity to check in with me if you want to, or just to push you guys to take that step to check in with somebody. You're loved. Remember, if someone loves you, that's the end of the day. All you gotta remember is that someone loves you. Someone is hoping for you to succeed. They're pushing for you. They're grinding with you. And yeah, that'll do it for this episode. So thank you guys for listening, watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. We need to build up the subscribers, the view hours, and my listening hours. So share it with your friends, post on social media. Let's get our word out here. Start getting our community up slowly. But yeah, I appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Paulo on Purpose. Peace.